So now we're moving on to our M&T3, and we're still working with our Bright Beautiful DSP, but we're bringing in a new bundle. And this is a punch bundle. So we've got a large circle punch, 2 3/8 inches, and we've got the circle sayings, and this is a photopolymer set, so it's great for being able to position these sayings exactly where you need them. So you can either stamp and then punch, or you can punch and then stamp. Because we've got the photopolymer, we can see exactly where we are stamping. So I'm going to start to put this together. I've already punched shapes. You will get the punched shapes as part of your make and take pack. We've also got a few of the pastel sequins, and I usually put a trio on, so you might even want to use these on one of your other cards if you want to share between the two. So what we've got are 2 punched shapes, and I just wanted to show you, your pack will actually come like this with the paper ready cut, but I wanted to show how and why I cut the paper the way I did. So let's just have a quick look at that. And I'm using my paper trimmer, and because we've already got a layer here, that means that I only need this to be 3 5/8 wide. So, and then that's going to be by 5 1/4. I'm actually going to go for the 3 5/8. Let me work that out. I'm actually wanting this paler colour here rather than the more berry burst that we've got here. I'm wanting this fresh freesia pattern. So I'm going to pop this in this way and pop it at 3 5/8 so that I'm getting more of the fresh freesia. This is upside down from how it's going to be, but it means I get more of the fresh freesia than I do of the berry burst, and I can obviously save this and use it on another card. So I'm going to turn this around, let me see, this way. Again, I'm wanting to keep this blueberry bushel in, and we want this at 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut that, and that piece then can be used for our insert. So that's just going to go on the inside. So I just wanted to show you how I'd cut that, what my reasoning was. So because quite a few of these papers have got different patterns and different bits, so it's worth working out which bit you want. And actually I also need to bring in my paper trimmer again. So we're going to position these like this. Let me take my insert out for the moment. And what I've done, because I've punched a white circle, that gets a little bit lost there. So I've also punched this blueberry bushel one as well. And what I'm going to do is cut this in half. And all I'm going to do to cut it in half is just kind of position it so that it's up against the edge. You can just see that I've got even amounts. I'm not measuring it, I'm just making sure that I've got even amounts of these here. So it doesn't matter if it's not entirely exact. Close enough is good enough. Because these are then going to go just behind, and I'm going to just want to sort of get them so that you just start to lose the edges. I'm going to pop these on in a minute, but I'm going to stamp first. So we want them so that they're just going to show like that, so that it'll create a bit more of a frame and help our sentiment stand out. Okay, so this is our stamp set. The images here on the front are only at 85%. They're bigger than they are on the front, so they're big enough that they do fit in. So I'm going to layer up 2 different bits. So I want that Celebrate, and I'm going to want the cupcake. Now I can't actually put them together on the block. I could maybe just get away with it, but I don't want to risk spoiling the stamping. So I'm going to do these separately, but I'm going to use Memento black ink for them, so nice and straightforward. And I need to bring in my mat because this is photo polymat, so we just need that little bit of cushioning, and I'm going to ink this up and stamp it so you can see exactly where you're stamping. Ideal. And there we've got that, and now I just need to stamp my little cupcake in the centre. And now I want to make sure that I get that top Celebrate straight. For stamping my cupcake. There we are. And I didn't particularly say, but of course I've chosen one of the more party type patterns. Let me just grab another option. Would be this, and you can see you've got different blues. You've got the Misty Moonlight fading into more of the Blueberry Bushel, and this is what I say about different portions of the DSP have different emphases on colours within them. So this would work well as well, but I've gone for the more party type. So I'm very quickly going to just colour these, the cupcake, and I've chosen a light fresh freesia. Obviously you don't have to. I can't send you the stamped images, so you will use whatever you've got in your stash to stamp your circle. Now that could be just a sentiment. It could be a sentiment plus a small image. There's enough room for it's a large circle, so you can probably either use a large sentiment, but it needs to be something that will sort of fit within the circular environment, or like I say, you could use a smaller image, smaller sentiment, and use both together. Not necessarily circular, but you could use a sentiment at the top and just stamp a few flowers at the base, for example. So, and this one I've used the light Blackberry Bliss. Again, it's actually not Blackberry Bliss, it's Berry Burst, one of the returning colours. That is the darker pink on this. But this will work well enough because you're not seeing them bang together. And I just wanted some tones that were kind of in keeping with the background, but of course you could do this however you want. If you want to give it pink frosting, if you've got this stamp set, but you make it as you like, you know, as works for you. So now we can start to assemble this, and we're simply going to adhere the layers together, and that is the new, I'll check it, Azure Afternoon that you can see on the back of this pattern. Working, thank you. So we're just going to layer these, whatever your preferred adhesive is, that's fine. So blueberry bushel was one, this blue here, blueberry bushel was one of our in colours a little while ago and has returned to join the main colour families. So there we go. I'm just going to adhere this now to the blueberry bushel base, and this is the fresh freesia layer. So I wanted the blue at the top, but you can do it the other way around, obviously. And if you preferred the azure afternoon pattern on the other side, that's perfectly fine. So now I'm going to adhere these circles behind. Come on, that's it. And I want to get this the right way up, so I'm just going to hold that in place and make sure that that is straight with my celebrate at the top. I've got a proper top and bottom to this. And then we're going to just do the same thing here at the base. Just make sure that that is just over like that. And then we can pop this up. Where are my dimensionals? Here we are. So that actually looks a little bit, it looks out on the back, but it's going to work fine on the front. That's all that matters. And this set is great because again we've got some nice general sayings. We've got birthday, we've got thank you, thinking of you, lots of great sentiments in here. So a very useful set. So I'm going to pop that there like that. And this is it. We're going to now go with the happy birthday. This seems like a birthday celebration. And we'll stamp this on the insert. Where have I put my insert? There we are. And again, I'll just bring in my mat. So we're going to have a bit of the confetti paper at the bottom, and that's not going to go the whole way across because we've got the, we've cut it from this piece here. So just make sure that you kind of keep an even border. I'm going to stick that on in a minute. So we'll stamp the happy birthday, making sure that it's straight. Look, I can see through. And if you wanted to, you could add another sentiment, or we could add some flowers. I'm not going to add flowers on this occasion. We've got these wonderful sort of, bring that back in. So we've got the flowers that will pick up whichever colour you stamp with, and we've got these lovely little seashells as well. You could even, with a paler colour, stamp that over the top. If you use something nice and pale, then that could be stamped over the top to create a background image. It doesn't matter that you've put that on first, it will still seem a background image if you use the paler colour. So let's pop this together now. So I do think that the Bright and Beautiful DSP is a very versatile pack that we can use for lots of things, and with lots of different stamp sets within the catalogue. It doesn't have to be the ones that are in the same suite, though obviously they work very well together. But the Bright and Beautiful DSP is a lot more versatile than that, and you can mix and match it with plenty of other stamp sets. So we'll just get the insert put in. I do need to clean my seal because it's sticking up. And then we'll just add a few sequins. There we are. Let me grab this. So the bundle is here on page 17. Make sure that you can see that okay. And we've used the stamp set and the punch, and then I'm mixing this with, let me find them, these pastel adhesive back sequins. These are actually sort of gold, petal pink and balmy blue. It's more of the sort of petal pink that we've got here. These are looking a bit paler than that actually, but we're just going to pick off a few of these, oops, and add them about as a little bit of extra bling for this. So we'll just pop a couple here, and I didn't want to, this is quite a busy front, so I didn't want anything else really competing with it, so that's why I'd gone for the pale ones. And there we have our card. So like I say, if you're getting the kit, the Make and Take kit, then you're getting it with the circles already punched for you, so you will need to stamp your own on here. Okay, so that's how that is going to be put together. Moving on.